And now it's time for some good news. Hello and welcome. This is Christina, and I am so excited to share more good news with you today. From Cape Town and around the world, we have all sorts of good news because we know that God is always up to something good. The Bible tells us that He commands His angels concerning us to guard us in all our ways. That's some good news. His angels guard us, you and me. And now to news from around the world. Recently, the Abraham Accords peace agreement was signed. This was between the UAE and Israel. This is some prophetic good news. God is up to something good. South Africa has moved to level 1. This is good news because it means that our infection rate has stabilized and now more businesses can open because we know that job saves lives. And the church can now have up to 250 people and 500 people outside. That is some blessing to God's kingdom, and I'm excited to see all the churches open up. The west coast of the United States has been experiencing crazy forest fires these last few weeks. Here is Mylene to share her good news.
In Oregon, we've had the worst fires they've ever had in the history of Oregon. And one of the biggest fires, the Beachy Creek fire, where literally there are towns that have been completely burnt down. They were small towns, but there's multiple towns that are like the stores, the schools, the homes, everything. They had to evacuate people. People lost everything. So one of the people in our worship fellowship, her family is from the Gates, Detroit area. She was really concerned, thought, oh my God, they're going to lose everything. And they actually have 6 family homes there. And the fire took off like the next day and just burned everything. So she was super sad and crying and emotional. She talked to her sister, and what had happened was literally they didn't get the message to evacuate until the fire was right there. When they went out to the car, they just said to their home, Jesus, watch our home. And they ran to their car. Because these are wooded areas, they're driving in these country roads and there's fire on both sides of the road. So it was kind of a intense situation, and then there's cars lined up, so everyone's kind of freaking out trying to leave. There's this one path, this one road to get out, and we did have some deaths because of that. Not in our group, but I'm just saying it was a serious situation. After the fire had been contained, or after actually that area, they were allowed to come back, and everything was completely gone except for their homes. Everybody else's homes were burnt except for theirs. So literally the fire came to their house, went around their house on the side, reconnected in the front, and then burned what was in front. And that was for all 6 of their family homes.
Get your tissues ready because this next story is going to move you. Last month, Lyle Europa was on his way home when he was hijacked. He was pulled out of his car and he was shot in the chest. But that is not the end of his story. Here he is to share his good news.
Hey, God bless you, everybody. This is your boy Lyle. As you all know, that I've been through a pretty hectic time. About 2 days ago, where my car got hijacked, and I got shot in my chest, where the bullet passed right through, missing my heart and missing my lung. And I can sit here in front of you today. Healthy. I'm in pain. I'm in pain though, especially at night because it's super cold. But I'm healthy. I'm good. I took a taxi, a Uber, a Bolt actually, to the police station earlier, and I was able to walk down the street and like everybody else, But it's nothing that I did that made me, or that has given me the opportunity to be able to be healthy and to be strong and to be at the place that I'm at in my life right now. I think the true miracle about my story is not the fact that I survived the shot. The true miracle of the story is that I was able to gain a different perspective as to who God is in my life, and how God has allowed the situation to draw me so much more closer to Him and to bring me to a point of humility in saying, man, you know what, my life is really not in my control, so no matter what plans I have, God's plan will always prevail. But my reason for making this video is I wanted to see if I could get the opportunity to speak to the guys that robbed me. Of course, I'm very upset, and because I'm hurt. Of course, I'm disappointed, and because if I should tell you a piece of my life story, is that I used to be a heroin addict for a long time. I was a drug addict, and everything that comes with it, I experienced. Being on the streets, doing the bad things, and not having finances to be able to fulfill responsibilities and duties and stuff. And I had to fight to get to a place where my thinking capacity could be of where I've had to learn to value myself. And I fought hard to do that, man. I fought really, really hard to be able to get myself to that place, and I was able to buy myself a car. I was able to buy myself a car, my first car. It was a Hyundai Getz. It's a good car. And you guys, if you can hear me as the sound of my voice, you came and you took that from me. You took it from me. And you nearly, and in the process, you nearly took my life. I want to show you what my clothes look like. I want to show you. You see here, the blood over here, and this little hole here. That's smack bang in the center of my chest. Right in the middle. Right? T-shirt. Also, right in the middle. Right in the middle. See there? And lastly, the top that I had on, because it's super cold. You'll see that there's a hole right here as well. And when I looked at this, right in the middle, and when I looked at that, and I really dawned on me the seriousness of what could have, of how different this thing could have ended up. But yet God gives me a different perspective, and I want to let you know that I forgive you. I forgive you. Why? Because God brought my life to a place where He had to forgive me for all the wrongs that I did. So who am I to judge you for shooting and robbing from me? So I just want to let you know that I love you, bro. I wish I can meet you. Maybe we can have a coffee one day. I don't know. But I want to let you know that I forgive you. I have this hope that that one day, just one day, that God will allow us to cross paths one day, and that you will share your testimony with me one day about how you heard this message and how God was able to move your heart and touch your heart to such an extent where you also decided, you know what, that you need to make a change as well. You're not perfect, bro. You and I, we both need Jesus.
How beautiful is that what the enemy meant for evil, God will turn around for good. And I can see that God sent His angels to Lyle as well as to all those homes in Oregon, and He commanded His angels to protect them. That is some good news. If you have any good news to share, we want to hear it. Send us a message at ghcc.tv/mystory or on Facebook Messenger at ghccfans. And if you want more hope, subscribe to our YouTube channel. And always remember, there's more good news out there.